What is going on, everybody? Welcome to or back to Ryder's Record Collection. My name is Carl, and it is February 2021, so I wanted to make another Albums of the Month video in this series, and I gotta say that this is February 2021 is a pretty good month. There are some pretty heavy hitting albums that I'm talking about, and actually a very new young one that I'll show in the end. So yeah, it's a good year for album birthdays. So here we go. Here's 5 albums celebrating some big birthdays. So first up is the oldest of the batch. This is The Animals, The Best of the Animals. This was released in February 1966, so it is turning 55 here in 2021. It is the band's greatest hits album, or their first greatest hits album, and I think it was only released in America. The album features songs from 1964 to 1965, so it's a very brief snapshot of the short-lived original incarnation of the Animals, but it is very good. And for anyone unfamiliar with the Animals, they were a British band that came over during the first British invasion in the early 60s, kind of with the Beatles and the Rolling Stones, but they're really good. Their singer, Eric Burdon, has a phenomenal voice. And this album features House of the Rising Sun, Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood, We Gotta Get Out of This Place, and It's My Life, along with many others. This is a killer greatest hits album. And it is turning 55, so if you have it in your collection, give it a spin this month. Alright, this next album is turning 50 this month. It was released on February 24th, 1971, making it 50 years old on February 24th, 2021, and it is a bit of a lane change, but very rock in its roots, and this is Miles Davis, a tribute to Jack Johnson. This was released right after Bitches Brew, and it's the soundtrack to a movie about a boxer by the same name of Jack Johnson. I know nothing about the documentary, but this album was a gift from my uncle, and the first time I played it, I cleaned it, put it on the turntable, went and started doing something, and I thought it was the wrong album in this jacket. I mean, it's very rock. It's Miles Davis' answer to rock. So this is released in 1971, and I believe Bitches Brew was released in 1970, so this is very much in that experimental Bitches Brew vein. And many critics say that this is his most overt venture into rock. And it is also considered one of his best, as well as one of the best in the jazz rock fusion. This is all according to critics. I like it. I also like Bitches Brew, so eventually I'll get Bitches Brew. But this is turning 50 on February 24th, 2021. So if you play it or you have it, I'd spin it. This actually has Herbie Hancock and John McLaughlin on guitar, and I have a John McLaughlin album, so I got a session musician on this one in my collection somewhere else. But turn to 50, so if you have it, play it. Okay, so this album is the Mammoth album of February 2021. It is turning 45 and was released on February 17th, 1976. It has sold millions and millions of copies. And I won't make you guess anymore, but this is the Eagles, their greatest hits, 1971 to 1975. I wrote down some accolades that this album has gotten, and it's just gonna blow your mind what this album has done since it's been released. So it's a compilation album of their first 4 albums that came out right before Hotel California, and I believe their ex-record manager put this out against their will, but it definitely boosted the Eagles' career. So it topped the Billboard 200. It was the first album to ever be certified platinum by the RIAA. It is the best-selling album of the 20th century in the United States, and it was selected for preservation in the National Recording Registry by the Library of Congress. So it's a mammoth. It's a really good album. It has a bunch of killer Eagles tracks: Take It Easy, Witchy Woman, Lion Eyes, Already Gone, Desperado, One of These Nights, Tequila Sunrise, Take It to the Limit, Peaceful Easy Feeling, and Best of My Love. This is a pretty beat up sleeve. I got this for free in high school, but the album plays great, and it's turning 45, so if you have it, I'd play it. All right, this next album is also a bit of a mammoth, although not quite as big as the Eagles. This is turning 10, and it was released on February 21st, 2006. This is the Arctic Monkeys, whatever people say I am. That's what I'm not. This is the Vinyl Me Please pressing of this album, and I heard AM before I heard this album, and I liked AM. I had a friend show me AM, but then I discovered this album, and I found a whole new, different side of the Arctic Monkeys that I loved. This album is so underappreciated. Not many people know it who know later Arctic Monkeys, but man, it is good. And it's got some pretty crazy accolades as well. It is the Arctic Monkeys' debut studio album. AM was their fifth, so they were well into their career when that other mammoth of an album dropped. But first debut album, and it is the fastest selling debut album in British history, and is the fastest selling indie album in the United States. It's considered one of the best of the decade, of the pre-2010s, and it's just, man, it is a killer album. And 10 years old, looks really good on it. It's aged very well, and I think another 40 years this will be 50, and it'll still be a banging album. And since I can, I'll just show you the variant real fast. This is that Smoke that Vinyl Me Please did, and I like this album so much I had to get the Vinyl Me Please pressing of it. And last but certainly not least, this album is an infant. It is turning 1. This is Tame Impala, The Slow Rush, and this was released 1 year ago on February 14th, 2020. So this is turning 1, and this is just a killer album by Tame Impala. I cannot say enough good things about it. His growth as an artist is just phenomenal, and this album is just, it's light years ahead of what I expected. I can't even say enough good things about it. It won a lot of awards in Australia at their music awards ceremony, and it's just really well received, and it's really good, and I think it's my favorite album that came out last year. So this is turning 1, so on February 14, 2020, I will be playing this very loudly, and if you have it, you should too. And that is 5 albums that are having some pretty substantial birthdays here in February 2021. And I tried to make this pretty brief. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have these albums, play them. If you have any albums in your collection that are celebrating some pretty big birthdays and you recommend them to me, I'd love to hear them. My name is Carl. This is Ryder's Record Collection. If you like this video, please throw it a like. If you like the channel, please subscribe. I will have some more content out here pretty soon. And yeah, cheers.